This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Well, hundreds of students throughout the country will be busy over the next few weeks participating in the Royal Bahamas Police Force's annual summer camp. It's been making an impact for the past 20 years.
The official opening ceremony here in New Providence took place at Evangelistic Temple on Collins Avenue on Monday. The young participants enjoyed entertainment, including a performance by the Royal Bahamas Police Band. Police plan to engage the youngsters in positive activities during the 6-week camp. National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage was there with words of encouragement.
A key component of this year's summer camp is our community crime prevention bands, usually referred to as urban renewal bands. We are actively encouraging the formation of new bands in the communities where they do not now exist. This will be in national scope so as to include Grand Bahama and the family of islands.
Now, there are 9 camps here in New Providence and 7 in the Family Islands. Police Commissioner Allison Greenslade welcomed the youngsters to this year's camp, which he promises will be very fulfilling.
A key component of this year's summer camp is our community crime prevention bands, usually referred to as urban renewal bands. We are actively encouraging the formation of new bands in the communities where they do not now exist. This will be in national scope so as to include Grand Bahama and the family of islands.
Free National Movement Deputy Leader Loretta Butler Turner highlighted what she called some serious concerns about employment in the outer islands.
Andrew Knowles tells us that her concerns relate to the amount of job opportunities, that is, for Biminites.
The nation's leader touted the enormous economic impact the opening of the new multi-million-dollar Resorts World Casino is expected to have on Bimini, not to mention the 400 new direct jobs being created this year alone. However, F&M Deputy Leader and Shadow Minister for Labor Loretta Butler Turner says the numbers don't add up.
There are only 28 Biminites hired at the casino. There are 75 transplanted Nasuvians hired at the casino. And there are 67 transplanted Grand Bahamians hired at the casino.
She's also claiming that there are more than 10 foreign workers who are due to arrive and fill positions as general managers and supervisors who do not have work permits.
This is a very, very serious infringement on working Bahamians. And especially given the fact that we have such a large sector of our population that remains unemployed. I can assure you that there are many Bahamians out there that perhaps can fit into many of these jobs that are being taken and allocated to foreigners.
However, resort officials are refuting Butler Turner's assertions, saying a group of 12 task force team members did arrive on property today, but only to assist during the holiday, a high occupancy period. HR Director Marcia Newball says the team will only be there for a few days to ensure brand consistency and says there was no issue with their work permits. Currently, there are 318 people employed at the resort, with Biminites accounting for the majority. As for the casino, so far there are about 158, but that number is expected to increase. Meantime, State Minister for Investments Kayla's Roll responded to Butler Turner.
They did nothing that substantially improved Bimini. What you see now is a stark difference between what they did in 5 years and what we've done in a year. They didn't create any jobs. We created jobs. If it was one job, we created jobs and people are excited.
The F&M says it intends to send a fact-finding team to Bimini to make its assessments in order to give a proper report to the Bahamian public. Andrew Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Well, PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts is lambasting the F&M's Deputy Leader Loretta Butler Turner for her comments about Bimini and the Resorts World project, calling them both disgraceful and inaccurate. In a statement issued late this afternoon, the party chairman said despite what's been said, the project has ushered in a new era of prosperity for Bimini. He went on to say that Mrs. Butler Turner has been busy stirring up mischief and willfully spewing out untruths truths about the project for pure political gain. The statement went on to say that presently the new casino employs 184 employees and all but 9 are Bahamians, with an additional 16 to be hired in the next 45 days.
Minister of State for Finance Michael Halkitis is defending the government's move to establish an environmental levy or tax on certain items which were previously duty-free.
F&M Deputy Leader Loretta Butler Turner claimed that a full list of all new taxes was not included in the budget passed by parliamentarians last month and that the tax is adversely affecting the business community.
But as Janaea Noel Ferguson tells us, Mr. Halkitis says Butler Turner is wrong and has defended those increases.
July 1st marks the start of the new fiscal year, and during the budget communication, government outlined some new taxes to come on stream. One of the new regulations is the Customs Management Act. However, the F&M Deputy Leader Loretta Butler Turner claims this was not a part of the fiscal plan.
All of the submissions that would have been made in terms of customs clearance last Friday, which was before July the 1st, had been sent back to those business houses for them to resubmit so that they can fall in line with the new tariffs that the government has implemented. This, in effect, shows a lack of planning and a lack of accountability.
Now, Butler Turner claims that businesses are also in limbo as the government has added taxes to many items that were previously duty-free.
As you go down this list, you will see this environment levy, which is now being charged. And I think that even though the legislation is there for these things to happen, it has not been articulated, and it's a slap in the face to all Bahamians who are now importing goods.
Firing back, Minister of State for Finance Michael Halkitis says he's surprised as everything was laid out in black and white.
It says right here, item number 15, introduce an environmental levy on specific items. Currently, no levy is charged and various fees depending on the item to come into force July 1st. So it's right here. Nothing is being hidden. The money would go specifically into this fund to deal with things such as environmental cleanup. So you don't have situations where you're riding around New Providence and you see old refrigerators, old air conditions, old washer and dryer, and then cars all over the place. We need to clean it up. We need funds to do it, and we think that this is a way to do it by putting a modest levy so that people who are importing these items, they pay the levy so that in the event that when it needs to be disposed of, we can have funds to do it.
Janaea Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Still to come, we've got what's happening as the smoke clears at the North Eleuthera Administrative Complex.
And then later in sports, we take a look at junior national tennis champions. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis. Star General Insurance Company Limited has achieved a first for the Bahamas cover hold status for medical malpractice insurance coverage with the legendary Lloyd's, a group of powerful syndicates that form a mega insurance market to insure risk. President and CEO of Star General Herbert Thompson explained that becoming a cover holder of Lloyd's is a reflection of Star General's vision to continuously expand the company's products and services for the benefit of Bahamians from Grand Bahama to Inagua. Earlier this week, the Minister for Grand Bahama, Dr. Michael Darville, met with Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce President Barry Malcolm in Freeport to foster a closer working relationship and partnership between both organizations. Malcolm said the meeting with the minister was very productive as they exchanged a wide variety of ideas which the Chamber feels could help facilitate economic development in Grand Bahama. Chairman of the GBCC Economic Development Committee, Randy Thompson, and Melvin Seymour, Acting Permanent Secretary for the Ministry for Grand Bahama, also attended the meeting. Next up for Grand Bahama Chamber, a business luncheon featuring former Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Owen Arthur, at the Pelican Bay Hotel in Lucaya. And in international business news, the price of U.S. light crude oil hit a 14-month high Wednesday to over $100 a barrel on concerns over political turmoil in Egypt. U.S. light crude rose more than 1.5% to $101 a barrel. It's the highest since May 2012. And that's a look at your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis.